So we left out in the previous example where we are working with a hypothetical bin which is implementing a hypothetical remote business, and we have seen how exactly the message is been retrieved from the session bin. So let's go to the next slide where we are trying to create a message. So here we are making use of a resource and the resource name is a resource reference name. So we are just giving it for reference purpose or just a sample, and here we need to create a topic connection factory if it is a subscriber and publish and point to point. Depending upon that, we make use of a topic connection factory or the queuing factory. So here we are making use of a mapped name, and we need to give a JNDI name for this here, and we need to create a connection factory for a queue connection factory or the topic connection factory depending upon subscriber publish model or point to point model. And here whenever there is a message to be sent, then we need to check it up inside the JNDI by making use of a lookup function which is presented java x.naming.context.lookup inside the inside this server. I'll be using the JNDI name. So connection and session. So connection equals to that is, I will be creating an object and create the connection, and we are creating the session by using the connect.create session. So by making use of these two functions in this particular program, we are creating a connection towards the broker, and we are trying to receive the message from that particular instance of the HAP container. So the message producer will be making use of session.create producer, and we'll be making use of the topic as a parameter here. So if it is a queue, then we'll be using queue depending upon publish or point to point model. And we will be creating a message by using a text message class, wherein we will be using text message as an object, and we are creating a text message, and text message will be set making use of the set text message, and the text ticket description will be given inside this set text. This is nothing but a string, and after making use of this, we will be using producer.send. So by making use of this producer.send, we will be sending the messages by using the session bin, and the session bin will be creating all our needed connection factories and so on, as we have done in the previous situation. So topic connection factory will be set. Then here we have made use of all the business methods as well. So by making use of those things, we are just trying to send the message. So the message types, as I have said, define several message types in the form of text message, map message, object message, and others. So this provides the methodology for sending the delivering messages and receiving from other applications. So here we can see that message driven bin and session bin both go hand in hand. So here we are making use of stateless session bin, and making use of the stateless session bin, we are trying to make use of the name of connection factory, because there is a dependency between the session bin and the message driven bin. And here whenever we create a queue, and this queue is making use of the dependency of the connection this is message driven bin in the form of my queue, and my queue is our object of queue which comes for publish and subscriber model, and making use of this, we are creating one business method. Inside this business method also, we are trying to make use of a connection to connect it to the enterprise Java bin application, and we are creating one small session for this, wherein we are setting the session for true and starting from the message position from 0, and message consumer will be making use of the receiving function, wherein we are using the queue for the particular consumer to receive the messages in the form of a queue. And we are making use of the text message, and this text message is having a method called as receive, which enables us to receive the messages for the clients. And after the message is being received, we are closing the connection. So here we can see that the stateless session bin and the message driven bean are working hand in hand by making use of the connection factory than the JNDI name. So this is how our message driven bean actually works.